Hello. I apologize for running late. I have been so comfortable here and I just realized I lost. Anyway, hello everyone. How is everyone? Am I green? Does that make me less green, more green? I'm always fascinated by these things. I'm running the air filter, so hopefully my cough will be under control. That hum you hear in the background is the HEPA filter. Because I've been having a little bit of a reaction to my kitty. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just going to do some testing before we... Okay. Hi, Mary. Hi, Sybil. So, why do I still look green? Am I doing something wrong with my lighting? What if the light were to go against it like that? Would that create less or more? I'm experimenting. Would that create more, less, or the same? I don't think that looks good. Virtual, I think putting this on green. Okay, that's better. And then this light, is it my imagination or does this light make it? Does that help? Speak now before I ever hold your peace. I don't know. I think I'm always going to just have green witch hair. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the lighting. I've got a ton of lights. Are the lights too close? That's possible. If I pull them away. I've also done cross lighting. That doesn't help. I don't know. How's your diet, everybody? How is your diet? My eyebrows are green. Huh, interesting. And I'm seeing that the stream looks a bit choppy as well. Let's see what we got going on here with my OBS. OBS is working. Let's see if that helps. Yes. Looks like over here, my OBS looks pretty. I'm just checking my screen, my OBS here. Yeah. Let's see. Start virtual camera, start streaming. Let's see. Let's see if that has. Let's see if that has any impact. Well, I just turned on my OBS and I'm trying to see if it does anything. All right. So one of the things we get into as people in mystery school, and today the mystery school is open to the public. This is the infamous 8th week where we get into a little bit more detail about the astral body and the astral plane, and this idea that there are multiple worlds and that we could be potentially living in these multiple worlds simultaneously. Now, who stays up at night thinking about these things? Not me. No, I'm just. You ever wonder what it all means? Where are you headed in the next lifetime? Well, we left off on our adventures. We have a book that we've been recommending that you read. All right. And that is called Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan. And it is a good book if you're trying to learn about core energetics. And last week we were talking about self-care a little bit. We had just gotten into it. And this idea that when you remote view using heart-centered remote viewing, and you put yourself in the shoes of another human being, you can take on their emotions. This is why it's really important for you to do the technique, properly, right? Step 1, set and setting. Step 2, getting into the trance state. Step 3, taking time to take care of yourself, the abiding. Before 4, which is to make contact with the target. Because what can happen as you empathetically listen and take in the story of the other person is that you can begin to empathize to such an extent that it can change you. Because you know, in a way, we kind of have a love affair with these people, right? So what can I say? What can I say about that? I went through a period where I was really locked onto Putin, right? And so everybody thought that I was like this lover of a psychopath, which of course I was. For how long did it go on, that my love affair with Putin? For like 4 to 6 months. I know it scared the hell out of people, but we got all kinds of information. We found out he wanted to take over the world. We found out that he was some kind of a drug addict. We found out that Prigozhin was supplying us drugs, right? We found out all kinds of things because we put ourselves in the shoes of the other. And by being in the shoes of the other and becoming the other, we have empathy. Some people have argued that having remote viewing skills is like having Stockholm syndrome. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are we held hostage by the other, by their thoughts, really hearing, excuse me, how Trump feels about himself, right? I'm a loser. Nobody else would ever want me. I can't, these are all the emotions that you're going to feel when you start remote viewing or picking up somebody else's stuff. And that's why it's very important to take care of yourself, ground yourself. Here is one of the things you may want to do before you remote view, which is just to stretch and open up that third chakra or the little gut, where you're going to start the gut or the little brain, where you're going to first start feeling sensations or a clenching in the gut as you begin to pick up information about the other person. This is the place where the soul resides in the core star area, like an egg. It's also where the third chakra and both the core star, the Hara base, as well as third the third chakra, which is the organ that digests energetic information. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? Let me go ahead and open the floor to questions. All right, so Marcia says, if a patient has very negative energy, can we refuse to do remote view because touching the energy of that person would be detrimental to both if we don't know how to deal with it? Sure. I mean, I don't want to remote view the Holocaust. In terms of the most traumatic thing, it's been the persecution of Black people in America has been the most difficult remote views. To be the victim of a lynching or to be a female slave, to be Thomas Jefferson's slave, Sally Hemings, and to not be able to develop my capacity to speak for fear of somebody harming me, retaliation for speaking. So undeveloped fifth chakra, an inability to properly form words. And so because I couldn't form words, I couldn't tell you how I felt about anything because I didn't have a real conscious ability to process things. I didn't have command of the English language because I wasn't allowed to speak. So if you're asking about me as a remote viewer, what the most difficult places I have been to, it's either being lynched or being Sally Hemings. So, and some of the Holocaust stuff, being captured, trying to flee the Nazis and then being caught, that's a reoccurring nightmare I have, either from a past life or just from being empathetic. So, you can get that where you have so much empathy for a trauma that it traumatizes you as well. So it's important to think about keeping your vibrations high. One of the ways they do that in the Catholic tradition is to continually pray for others, right? So if has anybody ever studied anything about the process of becoming a nun? I don't know why I keep doing two streams. It keeps doing, I think because I'm using OBS now to improve the quality. So I wonder if one group, has anybody noticed a difference between the two streams in terms of quality? Oh, I see. Well, that's interesting. So so the other one is my restream that you guys are seeing. Oh, it's so crisp. I'm learning all kinds of things here. Okay, so yeah, how do I get rid of? I'm learning on my own here about things. So if things look bizarre or okay, scene 1, scene 2, scene. How do you get rid of that? I'd love to get rid of that. Well, I'm figuring it out. If I stop the virtual camera, what would that do? Huh. Okay, did that do something? I don't know. I'm learning. Okay, I'm going to get rid of one of these because one of these is not supposed to be here. My apologies. Yeah, I just need somebody who knows how to do this, what I'm doing wrong. I'm just not very good at these sorts of things. All right, so back to the lecture, back to life. This is not my first rodeo, as they say. This idea that you always want to be praying for others and you always want to be keeping your vibration high. So, ways in which you can drag your energy down is to uh, eat contaminated food, right? This is the first thing that will spiritually affect you. Contaminated food could be an animal that was tortured and abused. McDonald's, right? The McDonald's doesn't taste. I just had some McDonald's here in the US because it was so delicious in Dubai. Well, yeah, because it's organic halal meat and the animals are out in the sunshine. And here they're just tortured. It was completely different. It tasted terrible. It was not the same thing. Completely different energy, right? So, the first and most logical thing to think about is what you put in your body, right? So, for that reason, some people choose to be vegan. Some people choose to become a vegetarian. Like the Carmelite nuns, they do have fish, but they, for the most part, are vegetarian. And most of the time is spent trying to be in the presence of the divine, or what in remote viewing we would call step 3. And I've often referred to in hidden light because of the power of having this continual communication with the self. The area that you focus on in remote viewing is we usually focus on, we will have our hands on our gut, listening to the gut, developing a relationship with the third chakra, the gut, the hara or core star area is very, very vital to the process of developing your intuition. And the other is the fourth chakra, which is, the heart chakra. And so the areas that we look to try to open up to when we are going into the meditative state, third chakra, to focus on the gut so that you can begin to find out how you feel personally in relationship to yourself. Step 3 is about abiding in the presence and allowing yourself to have a divine relationship. Before you begin praying for anybody else, you begin the process of seeing, can I plug in? Now, some people have referred to this as the process of the fact that you are a perfectly working lamp. There's nothing wrong with you. You're the best lamp in the world, but the lamp is not going to work, right? This lamp that keeps my head from looking green, supposedly, is not going to work if the lamp is not plugged into the wall, right? And so some could argue that what the nuns are doing is they're simply doing that process of plugging in. And this is similar to what Orthodox Jewish people do when they lay tefillin or put on the prayer phylacteries in order to get connected.
They say seeing is believing.
Sorry about that. So the point is that you have to go in and work at healing the self. It's about working to heal the self and make that connection And that allows you ultimately to reach out and make a connection to others. Jill Scheinbaum says that the hardest thing is that she doesn't have to do it again if there's another lifetime potential. So, yeah, I have 2 streams going. Yeah. So, yeah, to just think, to just think in terms of how I can keep my vibration high. You're still human. Enjoy your McDonald's once in a blue moon, right? But it just doesn't taste that good, to be honest with you. Okay, so am I doing something weird again? Let's see. Am I connected? Okay. Am I fluid or choppy here? Why do I look choppy? Okay. So, okay, it does look like it's a little choppy. I have no idea why I suffer these problems, but thank you, Valerie, for joining Fairies and Angels. Yeah, it's choppy again. Who knows? Let me find out if I'm offline. Nope, I'm not offline. Okay, so let me see what's going on with, if I stop the streaming of this, and if I close this, would that help? I don't know. Does OBS make it better or worse? Who knows? Program scene 2. I don't even see where program scene 1 is. Okay, Mac capture. I don't know. I don't even know if this is on. Exit. Okay, let me exit that. Oh. Okay. I'm having fun. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, did that fix it? I just shut something down. It is live. It is live. I'm having some technical stuff. Okay. So what is the takeaway that we're trying to have here? It is the importance of self-care. Again, this is what I was leading with here. And trying to make that human connection that we saw the nun make, this idea of going inward, checking in on yourself. All right, so energy blocks. We're now at chapter 12. You can go ahead and move on to chapter 12. Here is something that you'll see both in yourself, and you'll start to see it in the person that you're picking up on, or trying to remote view or connect with, is that when you sit across from them and when you begin to mirror whatever it is they're going through, you will start to feel certain things in your body. And one of the things you'll start to feel is you'll feel the past wounds that a person has gone through, but you'll also begin to feel the ways in which that individual is protecting themselves. Either they have a physical illness or a spiritual illness. And sometimes the two are interconnected, in the sense that if a person felt defended or vulnerable in a particular area, they might energetically defend that area, which could cause some sluggishness in the energy field or a rejection of that part of the body. And that could, in time, lead to poor energy flow and illness. So this idea that sometimes there's a spiritual connection and sometimes it's just something that's very simple, a simple problem that can be easily remedied. But be aware that when you're working with people, you may feel this way, or when you are in phase step 3 and you're trying to connect with your own internal body and do a check-in, you may feel these things. I feel, for example, see the mesh on my shoulders a lot. I feel the burden on my shoulders to try and save the world. You know, I'm a typical codependent, right? um, the other thing is the blah block. I sometimes will feel that energy drain out of the heart chakra. And other people have said that they see it in me, that I sometimes get. These are just things to be aware of. Here's some more images of how a person can have plating or armor to protect themselves, but also how we might see energy depletion. This is very common for me as a remote viewer, that I will walk into a situation that is extremely unpleasant. For example, when I went energetically into Nevada prior to the election, and there was a strong campaign against Harris, and I was shocked at just how intense the campaign was against Harris, and I felt that hook energy, and I was very worried about how Harris was going to do in Nevada because of some of this energy that I was picking up that was so hostile towards her because of the misogynist campaign that had been run against her in Nevada. That was why I had a bad feeling about Nevada. All right, and then we talk here. We're going to go ahead and leave this till next week, which will be week 9. We'll be going into ethics, and we'll be talking about personality disorders. Be sure and save the date, which will be next Friday. Chapter 13, we're going to be discussing more about the aura, chakra patterns, and various different personality disorders: schizoid, oral, psychopathic, masochistic, rigid, etc. All right, that is all I have for the lecture portion. Anybody want to talk about it? You guys want to talk to me about it? Any questions about today's lecture? Yeah, so my question to those of you who are attempting to remote view: have you ever been trying to put yourself in the shoes of how would I feel if I was person B? And then had that internal conversation with yourself where you truly see what life is like as the other person, and you find yourself almost in a lucid dream. You ever had that kind of clarity? Something to think about. Something to think about. Okay, are we ready to rock and roll? All right. Okay, are we ready to do some remote viewing? Yes, no, you're not into it tonight. You'd rather, let's do something else. I don't want to. But it's fun. Well, how else would you want to spend your Friday other than hanging out with me? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and give you the numbers. This is a place. I have to find it. Okay, this is it. Okay, so this is a location that has been randomly selected by the computer. I had no idea where it was going to take me. Here is your number. Please write it down. We're going to location T-704 M13H. Please write the number down. Is that all the numbers? Oh, why do I feel like that's short? 704, yeah, that's it. T-704M13H. Please write it down. This is a location that has been randomly selected by the computer. Okay, if you've never done this before, this is our Friday get together. Think about joining us, becoming a member at the Elders and Empaths level if you'd like to get certification. This is week 8, and it's a 10-week course. All right, everybody, go ahead and close your eyes. Get yourself nice and comfortable so that you're not going to be disturbed. Take a deep breath in and out. Let all your cares away. Take a deep breath in and out. You're in a bubble of light, a shield of protection. You're in a bubble of light, a shield of protection. All right. And as you let yourself become grounded and balanced, you can imagine a beautiful white light surrounding you. And around that is golden protection. I always think of myself as floating like the good witch in this golden sphere. And want to imagine that you are opening up your Kundalini energy. It's unfurling like a snake at the tailbone, at that area, this unraveling of this red brick earth snake that is the Kundalini energy. And that is really your connection with the earth. and your rootedness with the earth. And imagine that unfurling and going deep into the earth, connecting you to Gaia, to Mother Earth. All the way down. If you're on the 10th floor, it doesn't matter. This energetic cord that connects you to the earth. And imagine that beautiful healing energy coming up from the earth and sending healing all the way from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. And imagine you are relaxing from your toes all the way up to your knees, your thighs, your hips. Imagine your first chakra opening up and clearing. And then that healing energy coming up to the second chakra, and clearing all of the negative energy of the first and second chakras, opening them up, letting all that beautiful energy come up from the earth, being open to receiving healing from the earth. And letting it come up to the third chakra, where we often will hold a lot of tension, pain, ulcers, digestive upset. And just let your stomach relax and receive that beautiful healing energy coming up from the earth. And then to the fourth chakra, or the heart chakra, both the low and the high heart. And sometimes you'll feel your hands warming up as that beautiful healing energy begins to come up through the body, out of the hands, into the various chakras, helping them spin and heal and clear out negative or toxic energy. And then with your dominant hand, you're going to imagine the healing energy of heaven's force coming down. And it sends an anointing to the top of the head, or the seventh chakra. Often giving us a blessing or feeling of being healed. And then that beautiful warmth, let it come down and continue to do its healing, opening up the sixth chakra, healing the pineal gland. Letting your throat relax, opening up the throat chakra. And now you can just bring those beautiful energies together. And take a moment to just abide in that beautiful healing energy. All right, when you're ready, you can begin to send love to the target. T-704M13H is a location. You can touch the location with both your dominant and your receiving hands after you've written it down, if that helps. And start with just basic impressions you pick up about this location. So when you go into this location, are you feeling safe or unsafe at this location? You've popped in as a ghost. You're tinkering around now as a remote viewer. You've made contact with the target location, T-704M13H, and we want you to report back. Do you feel the location is safe or unsafe? Do you feel this location? Do you pick up any colors around this location? Any colors or any hint of where the location might be? Do you feel that this location, do you feel cold or hot? Do you feel that this is a hot desert location? Do you feel that this is a cold northern direction? Like, what kind of climate do you think that you are experiencing at this location? Do you feel this location is urban? Is it in a city? Is it in a town? Is it in the country? What is the function of this location? What is the function of this location? If the location could speak, what would it say it exists to do? What does it exist to do? What is the purpose of the location? Okay. Once you finish figuring out all the questions you're going to ask, you're going to thank the target for participating in the process. You're going to cut cords and release. All right, let's talk with the basics. Did you feel safe or unsafe at this location? Why do we cough so much? Well, I have a cat. And every time I'm away in some place with great air, like Tel Aviv, on the coast, and I get my air, and then I come back here, and I've got this old chair that's got Mila all over it. So I don't know. I know that I improve really quickly when I'm not, when Mila's not around. Like I don't cough nearly as much in Israel or when I was in Sweden. So, any colors that you were picking up? Did you guys see any colors when you were connecting with this location? God, my hair looks so crazy. I fell asleep on it. I took a nap after taking a shower today, and now it's all looked like a cone head or something. What is the function of the location? What kind of energy did you feel like the people that were there? Did you have a good feeling, a bad feeling? There's no right or wrong answers. It's just how you felt. Why do you think this place existed? Why does this place exist? How do you feel emotionally at this place? Any emotional feelings you have about this place? Any thoughts that come in your mind? Any smells or colors or anything like that that just entered your mind? For no, or image of a location that had, or random thoughts. Where does this place exist and why? What is going on at this location? Okay, we're going to move on from this location. This was Mel's Diner, where they shot American Graffiti. So, anybody ever see American Graffiti? I don't know. I guess it was a cute little movie back in the day. Didn't it kind of launch Ron Howard's career or something? I don't know. Here's the original filming. Yeah, all those people became famous. Everybody that shot. I guess the computer picked it because American Graffiti is an iconic film and it's associated with an actual physical location. Here's the diner today. I guess it's in Los Angeles, near the studios, near Burbank Studios, Sherman Oaks. Is that right? So it was just it was a 1950s diner. It was close to the studio, and they knew they could use it to shoot. And this is the same food people ate in the 1950s. So there's something really like meatloaf. So I guess for it was extremely authentic. So that was where the film was shot. Los Angeles. Yeah, it was it was made in LA. I guess that's the exterior, right? That's where all the action took place. Suzanne Summers, right? She drives up in a car. I don't know. It was so long ago. Does anybody remember that movie? All right, so we have one more, and then we'll be done. This is a person This is a person that's been randomly selected by the computer. Did that location, did you feel any connection to Happy Days and all of that, nostalgia? It's interesting. We did burgers last week too, and I've been having burgers. It must be the computer is like feeling my love for the burger. Oops, this is the wrong number. Excuse me. Okay, this is number T-8239J18. T-8239J18. It's interesting you guys kept getting food. Lonely but curious. It was a 1950s hangout for young people that were lonely. They wanted to feed the atmosphere. You know, it was interesting. You guys were getting food and feed. Brown, yellow, pale, very good. That is definitely some of the exterior coloring and interior coloring. Exist to grow. Yes, it had multiple locations. A little swampy and humid. Yep. Brick buildings. Yellow. Yes. Humming sound. Yes, I definitely think you would hear a humming sound from those lights. Those horrible lights. Do they still make those types of lights? Those are dreadful. All right, let's do this. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. You're in a bubble of light, a shield of protection, surrounded by a golden spear of protection. Go ahead and let yourself be grounded. Imagine that Kundalini energy unfurling and going deep in the earth. Imagine that beautiful healing energy coming up and healing you from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Imagine it healing the first chakra. The Kundalini energy is connecting to the root chakra. Allow the relaxing and the healing of the second chakra. And the third. You can put your hand on your third if it helps. Yes, today we do a couple public sessions a quarter so that people can see a demo. That way they can decide if they want to take the class. I always tell people to have one hand on my belly and one on my fourth chakra. This is high heart and this is low heart. I like to have on high heart and one on my belly, which is slightly below low heart. And just imagine that healing energy coming in while I root myself into the earth. And then when I'm ready, I imagine myself receiving the anointing that comes from heaven's energy, heaven's force coming down, healing the seventh and the sixth and the fifth chakra. And then you can go ahead and you can just bring that energy together if you like. And just let yourself abide. Okay, just abide. Oh, thank you, Deborah. And when you're ready to make contact with this individual, this person is famous. They can either be dead or alive. All we know is that they're someone famous for something. You know? All right. Do you feel safe or unsafe as you send love and connect with target T-8239J18? Do you feel safe or unsafe? Do you feel this individual's energy is more male or female energy? Do you feel the energy is more masculine or feminine? Do you get any physical description of this person? What their eye color looks like? What their uh, any physical description of this individual? Do you feel this person is alive or deceased? What is the function of this person's work? What is the function of this person's work? What is their message to the world? What is their message to the world? All right, you're going to thank the participants for this process. You're going to cut cord and release. Okay, so let's talk about the basics. Do you feel safe or unsafe with this individual? Do you feel this individual is male or female? Male or female? What is the nature of this individual's work? What do they do for a living? Is this individual alive or deceased? What is their message for the world? Okay, so now without further ado, we will reveal who the individual was. It was Shirley Temple. I guess she was a brunette with brown eyes. But she did sometimes have blonde hair, you know, as a child. She she was sporting the blonde thing when she was younger. They bleached it to be blonde. So if you got that it was female, it's an interesting person for the computer to pick because she was a diplomat to, Ghana. And so in addition to being an actor, she was, something of a cultural anthropologist. I guess she was a cultural anthropologist. So is that her with Pat Nixon? Is that right? Pat Nixon is the blonde, right? Was Pat Nixon the one that was the alcoholic? Who was the one that was drunk all the time? Oh, Betty Ford. That's right. I think that might be Betty Ford. That's terrible, terrible disease, alcoholism. Anyway, so she was a diplomat. She was an anthropologist. She was she was also an actor. What an amazing life, right? How'd you guys do? Tricky, right? It's tricky because she had a political, I think she was hired under Nixon. Oh, I spilt my juice. She was hired under Nixon, but she also worked under the Fords. Yeah, Betty Ford. Mm-hmm. Anybody surprised by who it was? Anybody feel like you were way off? Anybody feel like you were right on it? Okay, good job, everyone. I'm very proud of you. So that is the last of class 8, where we get into the metaphysics, the empathy. Next week, we'll be doing personality disorders and we'll be covering ethics. And then week 10, we will do our open book final. And then we will take time off, and then we will come back and teach the class again. Oh, good, Sybil. Good. Oh, you felt way off? We'll go back, review it. Maybe you were closer than you realize. All right, everyone, be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for studying with me. Keep doing remote viewing. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And then you're going to be shocked at how much information you start to get about other people. Yeah. All right. See you guys later. Good job. Bye.